Hello, and welcome to our second installment of online learning. We are going to be looking at permutations and combinations today. So I hope that the assignment yesterday was helpful in terms of practicing the counting principle and practicing factorial. Those are two skills that are going to come in handy as we take a look and take a deeper dive into combinations and permutations. So we're going to get started with looking at the difference between the two, and we're going to start off with permutation. So I'm going to take my highlighting tool here. I'm just going to highlight a permutation is a selection of a group of objects in which the order is important. And so I put a picture of a lock next to this definition because when I want you to think of permutation. I want you to think about why the order is important. For example, in a lock like this, let's say your code was 5, 15, 31. You would have to put it in that exact order, 5, 15, 31. If you put the 31 in first and then the 5 and then the 15, the lock wouldn't open. So this is an example in which the order is very important. So we typically call these combination locks, but actually it should be called a permutation lock. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking of the word permutation. So I thought what would be helpful is to run through an example and then show you how the formula that is derived for each of these permutations and combinations can be used so that you don't necessarily have to list a lot of items and you can find an answer quickly. So let's take a look at this first example that I have for you. So this is a way that a club can select a president, a vice president, and secretary from a group of 5 people. So the first thing you ask yourself is the order important here? And the answer is yes, because you are going to have people in specific roles. So it's very important that you choose specific people for those roles. So this would be considered a permutation. And so when we're looking at the permutation, we are choosing 3 different roles. We're choosing the role of the president, we're choosing the role of a vice president, and we're choosing a role of a secretary. So we know that we have 5 people that we are using to choose from. So when I'm looking for my president, I have 5 options. So then when I move to my vice president, if I've already chosen a president, I only now have 4 options to choose from. And then obviously by default, the secretary, I only have 3 people to choose from. So I could simply just multiply 5 times 4 times 3 to get the number of ways that this club can select these roles. And so if I multiply those 3 numbers together, I get an answer of 60. So this is a fairly simple way of calculating it, but I want to show you the algebraic formula that can be used to find the permutation of a situation, which could in fact get more complicated. But if you look at it in the chart below, words, so we take the total number of objects or people, and we're going to divide that by the total, again, subtracted from the items or the people taken out of them. So if we look at it in terms of numbers, I chose to use the same numbers in our problem. So you write the probability with a p, and we're doing permutation, sorry, not probability, permutation with a p. And we have a total of 5, and we're choosing 3 people. So we take the 5 factorial, and we're going to divide that by 5 minus 3 factorial, which is 2 factorial. And then I would solve that. So if I'm taking 5 factorial, that's 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and I'm dividing that by 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1. And the nice thing about these is that they have these nice abilities to cancel out. So the 2 and the 1 cancel out, and you're left with, again, 5 times 4 times 3, which is what we did in our original problem, and we got an answer of 60. So you can see how the formula works. So what I'd like you to do is try to use this formula to answer the question below. So we have an art gallery that has 9 photographs from an artist and will be displayed 4 of them from left to right along the wall. In how many ways can the gallery select and display the 4 photographs? So in this case, order is important again because there's going to be a placement for the first one, for the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. So we are going to use this formula again. So this is a permutation. We have 9 photographs to choose from, and we are only selecting 4. So this means that I take my total, which is 9 factorial, and I'm going to divide that by the difference. So 9 minus 4 gives me 5 factorial. So therefore, I'm going to write out 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And I'm going to divide that by 5 factorial, which is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And I'm going to go ahead and take my different colored pen to show you how we can cross out the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're left simply with 9 times 8 times 7 times 6. And if you go ahead and calculate that in your calculator, you get an answer of 3,024 different ways the gallery can select and display. All right, now let's jump down to, oops, that was a little fast, combination. So a combination, to get my highlighter out again, a combination is a grouping of items in which the order does not matter. So I put a picture of a fruit salad here to show you that it doesn't matter if I put the strawberries in the bowl and then the cantaloupe, or if I did the blueberries and then the strawberries, it wouldn't matter because it all gets mixed together. So this isn't a case where the order does not matter. So we call this a combination. So just like we did above, we're going to run through an example, maybe doing it the long way out, and then I will show you how the formula can come in handy. So in this example, we're asked to find how many different kinds of punch can be made from 2 of the following juices: cranberry, apple, orange, banana, and grape juice. So I'm going to just label each of these juices with a capital letter to keep them straight. So cranberry I'm going to call C, apple A, orange O, banana B, and grape G. So one way we could do this is we could list all the different combinations. And so if I start with cranberry, I could do cranberry and apple, I could do cranberry and orange, I could do cranberry and banana, and I could do cranberry and grape. So then I want to see with my apple juice what I could pair up. So I could pair up apple and cranberry again, but that is exactly the same thing that I have going on right here. So I'm not going to repeat that. And so I have apple, orange, apple, banana, and apple, grape. And then I'm going to go to my orange. Again, I could do orange and cranberry, but that's already been taken. And I could do orange and apple, but that's already been said. So let's start with orange and banana, orange and grape, and then lastly would be banana and grape. In fact, I don't know if I've ever seen banana juice, but maybe you have. All right, so let's count up the different combinations we have. So if I count, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that gives me 10 combinations. All right, so in this case, it was pretty easy to list them out, but sometimes it gets a little bit more complicated and there's a lot of large numbers involved. So we do have these formulas that we can go back to. So in words, a combination, for example, is going to be the total factorial divided by the number chosen factorial times the number not chosen factorial. So I have the example down here with our numbers. So we have a combination. We had 5 different juices that we were choosing or had a choice of, and we were choosing 2. So to find that combination, you could do 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial, because that's what we chose, and then multiply it by what was not chosen. So 3 of the juices at the time were not chosen. And then we multiply that together. So 5 factorial is simply 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then I'm going to multiply 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1. And then I also have 3 factorial, which is 3 times 2 times 1. And just like in my previous example, I can cross out my 321 and 321. But I also could do a little simplifying before I multiply here. So I've got this 2 and 4. So the 2 can become a 1 and the 4 can become a 2. And so then when I simplify, I have just 5 times 2, which is equal to 10, which is the same exact answer that I got previously. So the formula does in fact work. All right, so let's take a look at this last example together using the formula. So Katie is going to adopt kittens from a litter of 11. How many ways can she choose a group of 3 kittens? So in this case, it doesn't matter how she chooses the kittens, right? She's going to have 3 kittens regardless of what order they are in. So this is why this is a combination. So we're going to take this combination. We have 11 total, and she's choosing 3. So if I go to my formula, I'm going to have 11 factorial, and then I'm going to have the number picked, which was 3 factorial, and then I'm going to multiply that by the number not picked, so she's leaving 8 kittens. All right, and then let's go ahead and expand this out. So this becomes 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7, 6, 5, 4 times 3, 2 times 1 over 3 times 2 times 1, and then 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then we can get our pen out to cross out our 8 through 1. Those can go goodbye. And then I look and see if can I simplify anything else. Well, the 3 and the 9, those are common factors. So this can become a 3, and this can become a 1. And then 10 and 2, we can turn that into a 5, and this into a 1. And then we can go ahead and simplify. So now we've got 11 times 5 times 3, which gives me a grand total of 165. And there you have it. That is your combination. All right, so for homework tonight is a handout, and there's a link below. It's going to ask you to determine whether it's a combination or a permutation, and then you're going to use the formula that was used in the video to find out either the permutation or combination. All right, that's it for me, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.